Welcome to another episode of In the Middle. In this podcast, I talk about the experiences my guests and I struggle with living in two or more cultures. Hello, my name is Eddie Minaya. I'm a creative professional living in the Washington, D.C. Area. I'm originally from Peru, but I have lived in this area for most of my life. Today we're going to get personal. We're going to talk about divorce and how culture plays a role. In my case, I'll give you my opinion from the Hispanic family's point of view. Out of curiosity, I started to look at credible websites to get an idea of percentages of marriages and divorces to date. And I needed sincerely clarification of the data, almost like the websites which were credible websites like CDC and Census.gov don't want you to know the truth about divorce and marriages. It was very confusing. But overall, divorce rates in the United States have actually gone down over the last few years. But the interesting fact is that marriages have also decreased. So fewer people are getting divorced, but also fewer people are getting married. The pandemic did play a role in divorce. People, I guess, spending too much time together. And I bet you know a couple or two that got divorced after the pandemic. I sure do. Another interesting statistic I found is that Puerto Rico had the lowest divorce rate. But the census report indicated that it could be that lots of people have been leaving the island because of the recent local economy and the hurricanes that destroy the island. In my family, divorce is, let's call it accepted, but definitely your family will talk behind your back, criticizing your decision to break up and divorce. In the old Hispanic culture, divorce was not looked at as an acceptable decision. And if your marriage was miserable, well, you had to put up with it up until the end. Most of our grandparents and parents stayed probably in bad marriages. And because of their kids, the sense of family and the thought that people will think they're broken, especially for women. My grandparents on my mother's side were married for over 60 years. And I wish I could ask them today if they were happy throughout or if they ever crossed their minds to separate or get divorced. But I'm almost certain that if they were alive, they will say no, even if it weren't the truth. I grew up in a family culture where a family meant a mom and dad and kids. Kids were important to pass on the family name. My parents' generation was a little more, say, forgiving about divorce, about this topic. And some of them got divorced during their lives and got remarried. I am a product of my parents who separated when I was 13. And I didn't get to see my dad after that. I can count the times I saw and talked to him after the separation. Part of it because my mom moved here to the United States and we lived in two different countries, but also because my mom and dad ended things in bad terms. Forward to my marriage, or my first marriage. I was married when I was 20 years old. Many people said I was too young to get married, but of course, at that age, who listens? You think you know best, and I didn't listen, and I did get married. And 20 years later, I got divorced. So why did I decide to get divorced? Should I have done it before the 20-year mark? Was my family surprised and supportive? Well, I can tell you this. I got married too young. I know that now. But I don't regret it. It made me grow up faster. It made me the person that I am today. It allowed me to become a better father, a better person. But the problem I see with young couples, this is just my opinion, is that you don't take it personally. But if you get married to someone when you're very young, as you get older, things change. You change. You and your partner would change. and you can become different people, two different people that are not compatible to each other anymore. No matter if there's love, it can become a life with someone that you don't enjoy to be with any longer. You like different things, you enjoy different activities, etc. Well, did that happen to me? Absolutely it did. We became two different people. She wanted other things, and so did I. This made us both behave differently, fights, disagreements, and it caused nothing but problems. But one interesting thing is that we always kept these problems behind closed door. So for my and her family, we pretended to be this perfect family. I think that's because in our family cultures, that was kind of like the front we needed to show. Now, divorce, no matter where you're from, is no joke. No matter how much you want out of a marriage, or even if you don't love that person anymore, it still hurts. And it will stab you like a knife. It did for me. It takes a lot to come back from this, but you do, and when you do, you come back stronger. So what did my family think? Well, for starters, everything happened behind closed doors. So when it happened, everyone was surprised. For the most part, everyone was supportive, concerned about what would happen next. But you know what? So was I. The thought of ending a family that included kids and memories of us as a family was difficult to let go of. When I saw a family with kids, I used to get sad because it reminded me of the past, not because I wanted her back. No, I didn't. It was because you're letting go of that family feeling for good. I'm sure my extended family talked crap, tried to make sense of my divorce. If one thing it is important about Hispanic families is that there has to be some drama, telenovela style drama. I'm sure they started to make up stories based on the little facts they knew, but it was okay with that because I didn't care. Only a few people in my family knew the real reason and the real why. Now, for my generation, accepting a divorce is better, but still frowned upon because we still carry some of these strong values from our parents and grandparents. How does your family look at divorce today? How do your parents or grandparents look at divorce today? Look, my story was simple. I got married too young. It I changed into a person who wasn't compatible with the other person. But events happened to push the relationship to an end, and I got divorced. I think if some of these last events hadn't happened, I might have stayed in an unhappy marriage for who knows how much longer. I know that's sad, but true. Part of it is, yes, I know I said I didn't care if my family talked crap about my divorce on my back, but I care about how they will see me as a divorced person. Would I look at them would they look at me as a broken person? Shame. Once it happened, I didn't care anymore, what they thought of, got over it. I am the only one in my, I guess, the closer family between my cousins and my uncles from the cousins that are the one that, not the first one, but one of the few that got divorced. So, I always, it was on the back of my mind, what are they going to think? What are they going to say? But again, once it happened, I didn't care anymore. Are you going through a divorce? Are you thinking that divorce is the next step in your marriage? Does culture, family, kids play a role in your decision to stay? Is your age